Let's just wait for a few more minutes. Okay, I think that should be okay. Most of you are here, I guess. So let's just start. All right. So continue on with the shared responsibility model. Okay. So just to recap, in AWS, since some of the stuff is not under our control, so that's where there is this shared responsibility model. For in AWS, we would say that the security of the cloud. Again, I'm repeating this what we have just said. Okay, so it is responsibility of the cloud, and for the customer, we say that it is the security in the cloud. What it means by the security in the cloud is that the customer, you yourself, the user, or me, or anyone, the customer is responsible for the security of everything that they create and they put inside their inside the cloud, inside whatever inside their VPN. It can be either is EC2, it can be is the S3, it's any of the resources that they use. It is their responsibility to make sure the security for those resources up to the standards. In a sense, it's their responsibility. They have, in a sense, the customer maintain complete control over the content. For example, as I showed you, I place some files inside the S3. Okay, let's go back to the S3 and EC2, let's say. S3 first. Okay, inside the S3, I created some content. Not in the contents, I put in the file. It is my responsibility to ensure the security in a sense. For example, this project, okay, regarding the permission, regarding the security with the public access and everything, it is up to me. It is my responsibility to ensure that these objects are secure. Okay, for example, if let's say I'm publishing a static website, something similar to this, like this one, it is my responsibility to ensure that the web or the program, the HTML that I'm putting is secure enough in that sense. Like I said, as query injection, all those stuff, I have to make sure that it is safe and it is secure enough. So that is my responsibility. Whatever it is that I'm putting there, it is my responsibility. Okay. Because the thing is, I have complete control of the content. I am the one who's writing the code. I am the one who's writing the file. and giving the permission. It is my responsibility. Okay. And it is my responsibility also to choose what content that I want to put. So that one is not under AWS. AWS does not have control over what is it that I want to put. So that one doesn't fall under AWS. Okay, in terms of S3 or EC2, for example, let's go to EC2. EC2, for example, like we go to EC2 and we go for our instances. In this particular instance, when I created it, I'm using Debian. It is my responsibility also to make sure that I patch the OS, make sure that all the program that I'm using is all up to date. It is also my responsibility. Those things is beyond or not under AWS. Okay, so it depends on what you want to use your application. I think that would be also one of the main thing that you need to look at when you want to make sure of the security. Whether is it just an application, if it is just storage archiving, or is it gonna be like, for example, for EC2, the application, or if there is, I can also create database in EC2. So all of that, in a sense, who should have the permissions, who should be able to update the certain instances, and so on and so forth. Okay, if let's say this one, the EC2, and then also we have the S3 just now, and I also created one RDMS. So each of those components, who should be responsible in maintaining that? So those things is up to the customer. It is configuration, patching, and everything. It is up to the customer. So everything inside the services, the responsibility falls under the customer. Okay. So we also have the responsibility for the AWS. There is the security of the cloud. In that sense, the physical data, the data center itself, the physical data, the server, the physical server, the infrastructure, the networking, cabling, also all those stuff, the virtualization layer, in a sense, one VPC to the next VPC, to ensure that there is sovereignty of the data center, falls under AWS. Putting security guards, putting camera systems to make sure that nobody comes in and then destroy the hardware. Those things falls under AWS. It is their responsibility to manage the security of the cloud, in the sense of the physical infrastructure that hosts the customer's resources, the filing, all those stuff. Okay. So that's what we call the shared responsibility. For AWS, it is security of the cloud. For the customer, it is the security in the cloud, inside of the resources, inside of the services. Okay, so that's basically what would be what shared responsibility model is. Okay. But another thing that we need to take into consideration, even though AWS is not under AWS responsibility for certain things inside the cloud, but if let's say we do give AWS permission in certain resources, services by AWS, if let's say we want to have the advisor or something like that, so AWS have the I wouldn't say the choice, but they also have the power to go inside and inspect your content. Okay, so that's about it for this one. So let's go to the next one. Okay, we have AWS Identity and Access Management. This is where we have the IAM user, we have the IAM groups, and the IAM role. Okay, policies as well, but policies goes for users, groups, and roles as well. But this one, All right. So what is all these IAM users, IAM groups, roles, and so on? Okay. Um, let me see if I can get that one back. Okay. If I just log out, okay, sign out first. Okay, so when we want to sign in into AWS, there is this thing whereby it calls the again improve the okay. We have the IAM users as well as you have the root user email. There's a difference between these two. Okay. For anyone who are familiar with Linux, they should see this word all the time, root user, which is equivalent to something in Windows, we would say the admin user, which is someone who have total control of that particular machine. Okay, so it's the same, whereby if let's say you are logging in as root user, you will have a lot of privileges. You can delete stuff, you can without even though if let's say it's not yours also, you can just delete because you have total control of that particular machine. So in normal case, best case scenario, best practices, you don't really use root user so much. You go in, use root user to create other users. You just create the environment normally, and then you will create other users. And these users, you will give privileges, you will give assign role, not roles, you will assign what is it that they are supposed to be able to do. For example, if let's say you are working for a company and then the company give you a laptop or a PC, the company normally will not allow you to install any program. Basically, normally they will not allow you to install any program. All the programs will be pre-installed for you. If you want anything, you need to go and ask IT for it. One of the reasons because of they don't want to have any particular lawsuit in case of you're using unlicensed program, things like that. So they don't want to be complicated with those kind of stuff. So normally they already have their own license. They will like for instance, they have Office, they have their Windows and stuff like that, all licensed already. Then they will give it to you. You are not allowed to install any other application. One is reason of licensing and another one is reason for security. You don't know what malicious program out there. So IT want to safeguard not just your PC, but also the network of the company's network. So if let's say some malicious program are able to penetrate the security, so it will be a problem for them. So that's one of the reasons why they do it that way. So it's the same here. When you log in or when you create an account with AWS, you would normally create users and then you assign those users to a particular policy or to a particular role. For instance, as an example, if let's say we're talking about development, when you for AWS, let's say, you will have certain engineers or certain software developers to create the front end, which is the web or the UI, whereby it is interfaced by the user. There will be also a certain member who will be working on the back end. This will be people who set up the database, the middleware, in a sense, the API from the front end to the back end, and so on and so forth. So you will have two set of people. The front end may be those who are only working on EC2 because it's the front facing one, maybe. And then the backend can have privileges on the RDS because they will be working on the database. Maybe some portion that can go into EC2 as well to create into the middleware and as well as the database. Maybe it depends on how they segregate it. So to do that, to make sure that certain people, you don't want people who don't know anything about RDS, about database, go inside the database and start doing stuff, because that can just make things just go haywire. So you limit the access of certain people from going to certain area. So that's what normally it does. Okay, so I showed you most of the times already how we log in as root user. And also after you log in as root user, you can create IMs. If I'm not mistaken, I have one IM. I created one for backend, which that particular user will not be able to create any EC2 instances, but can go into RDMS. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it should be this name. You know, IM username. Oh, I need my ID. Forgot. The account. Let me see whether I save my account number or not. Did I save my account number? Uh, yes, I think I did. Let me just see whether this is the correct account number or not. Yes, it is the correct account number. Okay, so here I log in using a specific username and a specific password without using the root account. Okay, so as I mentioned, root account is someone who can can do a lot of stuff. But for this one, let me see. If I'm not mistaken, this one got EC2. I don't think so. I'm supposed to be able to go to EC2. I can go, yeah. See, you can see. If I go to EC2, it's saying that API errors and stuff like that. Let me just replicate this. Replicate. Hopefully I sign out here. It doesn't sign out here. Hopefully. It's okay, fine. I have to open up a Cognito one. Okay, fine. I have to open up another browser then. Okay, let's just go into my root account first using root email. Mail.com. Ah, yeah. MFA account number. Okay, number is 695. Okay. All right. All right. I'll open up another. Can I open Cognito here like that? Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. AWS web service. How come it's dark theme? Oh, is it default? We'll have the dark theme. Okay, so we have one here, which is my root account. So we can go into IM. Okay, let's see the other one. Okay, here, sign in the console. Okay, first of all, I need the account number again. Remember, this one will be name, password, sign in. Okay, so I'm using a specific Sydney. Oh, I'm using Sydney, is it? Okay, fine. Doesn't really matter. EC2. So this is to show that I should not have any EC2. I'm not supposed to be able to use any of the EC2 service at all. The reason being because I set this account for okay, here I have 3 groups. I have 1 user. Okay, let's go and see the user. So I have 1 NIN, and then this particular user is, okay, let's go and see. This particular user I created with enable with MFA. Okay, here we go. And it only have policy for Amazon RDS data, full access. Can create, can do whatever it is that that he is supposed to do with RDMS, but not with anything else. That's the reason when this particular user goes to EC2 just now, all the services will not be available for it. It's not able to launch, to create, or anything like that. Okay, so this is how what do you call that? Oh, let me start the clock. I'm supposed to start the clock. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay. This is how we create a user in this particular user will be for this particular account, because you can see just now when it logs in, they need to know this user is for which account. Okay, so IAM is for managing users under a certain account. So that's IAM. Okay, let me just go and see this. Okay, IAM user is individual identity for people or for application. You can also use IAM for application. What it means by for application is that you can interact with AWS resources using APIs. Using APIs and using in programming using the SDK. So you can create a particular user to have to access certain resources using the SDK by program. Okay, so when you are using that, you can create the name itself, but means in a sense to represent the program that it is working for. So certain things like that, and you can have the password and everything matching for that particular program. Okay. Normally what people do is that we best practice normally you create users without any policy. Okay, you create groups with policy. This is, to me, this is the normal practice that I do, because after that, only then you will assign user to a certain groups. If let's say you assign certain policy to a user, later on when you want to update the policy, you have to go user per user. So it will be tedious. Just imagine if let's say your organization have like 30, 40 people in one department. You don't want to go to each one user and then update the policy for each user. So it is easier for you to just update the policy for a group and then assign those users to a particular group. Okay, its best practice is you don't assign anything and you assign only the things that that particular user or that particular group of people are allowed to do. You don't start with, okay, give all everything and then start uncheck this privilege. No, you don't start it like that. Best practice is you don't allow anything to them. Only then you allow whatever it is that is supposed to be. Okay, so let's create one so that you can see the difference between, not the difference, I would say the what it is called IAM user, IAM group, the role and the policy. I think you can see the policy already just now. you can see a bit about the user and about the group, and as well as the policy just now when you are looking at this. Okay, so IAM users normally will not be able to create another IAM user unless you granted permission. For example, if let's say this guy, sorry. For example, let's say you have a group, let's say user group, and then in this user group, I have an admin, for example. Oh, let me just go back just now. Okay, you see, there's no permission defined yet. This admin, I created a group, but I didn't give any policy to it. It's just there, but there is no resources to display, no user, and then no resources also. There's no policy that has been permitted. Okay. To create a group is fairly easy. So you can just use a group and then you create a group. Just that simple. And then you just put a name to it. Create a group and enter a meaningful name to identify the group. And then you can add users if you want, automatically add users, and then you can check the policy. So you have administrators access, so on and so forth. If let's say it is an admin and I want to give it administrator access, I want it to be able to create IAMs, I want it to be able to view billings, so on and so forth. So you can get the policy here. So this is what we call the policies. This is this guy, the IAM policies. It is whatever privileges or whatever it is that you allow the either the user or the group to be able to access which resources. Okay, so like again, best practice is to give the least privileges when you are creating something or when you are granting it to a new person or to a new group. But afterwards, then you create you add up the policies as needed. If they don't need it, don't give the privilege. Okay, so okay, so let's go and see this. For example, if let's say I have one for front end, let's go and create one user. Create one user for front end. That's it. So this is for the back end. We create one user. So create user. Username is Rose. Give access to the management console. Okay, if I don't tick this particular user will not be able to access this management console. They will not be able to see, not to be able to see this. So it's either, if I don't have access, so they might only have access using CLI in a sense, or using the SDK programming only. So for programming, for access that is used by programs, so you don't really provide the access of the management console because they're not going to go inside and then look around. Okay, understand, right? Okay, so this guy, I'm creating access. Okay, next. So first is specify the detail and then you set the permission. So next, specify no, I don't want this. Provide access to AWS console. Specify. I want to create a IAM user. I don't want to identify an center. Sorry, this one automatically went there. So no, I want to create a IAM user. Custom password. I will give my own password. Okay, user must create new password at sign in. I want to retain today's password. Okay, but of course, when you create a new user, if it is for a new organization, for new people, normally you will ask them to create their own password so that you wouldn't know. As an administrator, you wouldn't know what password they're gonna set it. Okay, you are creating one. Okay, so next. No, I don't want it to save. Okay, so now I have, these are the groups. So whether or not I want to select this particular person to any of the groups. So I can do it now or I can do it later. This one is up to discussion. So add user to group. Okay, let's say I'm gonna put it into the front end. It will have all access to the Amazon EC2, full access. Okay, so set permission boundaries, optional. I don't want to do that. So just review whether correct or not. Okay, it's gonna be in the front end group. I don't gonna need any tag, and then I just create the user. Okay, if I want to retrieve the password, I can. If I don't want to, this also can. So I can just return to user list. Yes, it's okay. I know my password. So in this user list, I already have two users. One is Rose and one is Nin. See, so Rose is for the front end, and then Nin is for the back end. So if let's say I create an open up another incognito window, AWS, and then let's go to the login, sign into console. Ah, it knows Nin already. How come? I thought I opened up a new one. Let's use Edge then. AWS. Okay. So sign into console. Let's see whether this one it remembers anyone or not. Okay, it goes to the sign in. Okay, good. Okay. I need the account again. Remember, okay, I am user. It will be Rose this time. Just now it was name, so this time it will be Rose only. Okay, the password, I already set the password. And then sign in. Okay, so for this particular user, I should be able to go for the compute EC2. So you can see that it will be able to see the EC2. I can just go to the instances. Yes, I know the service menu. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is regarding the instances. So there is no instances here because of Asia Pacific Sydney. If my instances does not reside here, my instances resides in Singapore. Okay. So they should be able to see this. But if let's say I want to go to RDMS, where's the database here? Compute container. I'll just type it. Aurora, RDMS, sorry. Okay, so if let's say I want to see database, I will not be allowed because I only have permission. This particular user, this Rose, is a part of the front end developer, and he or she should only be able to see the granted permission, which is the EC2. If let's say this particular where is the other user? Let me just go and grab you the other user. If it is this particular user, so this particular user should be able to see the RDS. Because it has full access to RDS. Okay, database. This is okay. Oh, maybe because I haven't created. Oh yeah, I haven't created anything yet. That's not okay. So this one, Sydney. Let's go to Singapore. There's no DB also. I haven't created. I thought I created one just now. But something similar to that in a sense. You should have access to a certain resources, but you will not have. It depends on the policies that you have set to the particular user or to the particular group. All right. So the same goes for. Okay, let me just close this and close the other one. Close this as well. Okay, users created. It's the same goes when you want to create user group. So you just create group. No, it's not. Okay. So you just create groups and then give it a name, something similar to just now, and then you select the policy. What policy should that particular group have? Okay, so we have gone through the IAM user, which is the user for the accounts. Okay, you have IAM group, which is the groups in that particular accounts. And then you have IAM policy, which is the policy that you set to either a user or to a group. Simple, right? Fairly simple. Okay, now we will go to what is a IAM roles. Okay, if you set a IAM policy to a user or to a group, those policy stays permanent until you revoke their privileges or until you change this particular user to another group. Okay, but the policy for that particular group still remains, it's still fixed unless you edit and then update it. Okay, but for IAM roles, it is something that you set temporary permission for a user to do a specific task, or you will give a specific policy to it, to this particular role. Okay, this is when, for instance, if let's say you want to give, for example, you have one developer. He normally he normally does the backend database and everything, but he does have knowledge in front end. And in one particular instance, let's say you are really swamped, you are really busy, and then you want to have this particular guy to also help the front end. So you're going to give a temporary access so that he can do whatever the front end people are able to do. This is an example. Okay, so you can create a role and permit this guy to this particular role. Okay, you can see the role here. Okay, here, this is the role. Okay. Okay, there's a few role names or roles that you can that's already been created, but also you can create new roles. Okay, you can create new roles. Either it is gonna be for web identity accounts, so on and so forth. Allow AWS services like EC2, Lambda, or others to perform action. Allows entity in other AWS account belonging to your or a third party to perform actions on this account, trusted policy, so on and so forth. So you have web identity allows to user federated by the specific external web identity. You have different types that you can have trusted entity, and then you can, after this, okay, let's just create one. Let's use the AWS and then allow AWS services. We're just gonna, this one we're not gonna be using it because it's supposed, this one is for EC2, Lambda, or anything to access the account. So this is something like you're giving the application a permission. Okay, so let's just service or use cases. Let's just go for EC2, let's say. Okay, so because I want to have EC2 to be able to access my account. Okay, if this one you can have access the account, so you can see whatever it is that that you need to choose here. Okay, like I said, let's just use AWS services EC2, and then go to next. So it's not gonna be a fleet role, or so not even a spot fleet. So it's gonna be next. And then what are the policies it can do? Either read only, if let's say RDS. Okay, and then I don't want to give full access. I want to give read only access. So, oh, sorry. Read only access. So this particular application can only read the RDS. Something similar to that. It is not allowed to update the RDS. It's not allowed to update any of the database. They are only allowed to read the database. So give this next permission. So you have the role detail. You can give it a name, data reader, let's say. Or you can put table reader, up to you, whatever you want. Description, allow EC2 to on your behalf, so on and so forth. And then add permissions. So this is review, and then once you are done, just create. Okay, and then you can assign the particular role. Okay, I have another role. Oh yeah, I created one, the Lambda role, all time last time. Okay, so that's how you create the role. Okay, so understand, huh? What role is? It is a temporary access that you want to give to someone for a specific task, and then it's not permanent, it's just temporary. Okay, it's something similar to the example just now. Maybe today I will just give this person a particular role so that he is able to work on the front end, but tomorrow he will go back to his normal job doing the back end, something similar to that. Okay, so that's what IAM user, IAM group, the role, and also the policies. So you can see them here, the policies. So you have the policies. Policy will just list out all the policies that's available.
Question here.
Yes.
Okay. Just now you mentioned that the role is for a temporary permission, right?
Yes, you can set the timing for 1 day, 1 week, so on and so forth. Yes. So the question is,
Yeah. I just want to know whether is there because it is for temporary permission, so
yes,
whether it's based on the time base or daily base.
it is okay. It is. You can make it into a time base, or you can make it daily. Yes, it can be by once you revoke, you can revoke it. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So this one. Root best practice. Okay, so this is just talking. This is just going back to what we talked about just now. Root best practices. We should limit the use of root only to specific tasks that requires the root credentials. Just like when you are using Windows. I think most of you are using Windows. If not, if you are using Linux, then you should know that you don't go and sudo every single time, or you don't go and su root every single time. So you don't go and change your user to root every single time, and as well as that. So you do limit the use of root users. So what you do is that you will create an admin user, use IAM user for everyday administrative tasks. So this way it will be safer, because you know already you are giving permission to a certain extent only. Enable MFA for extra security layer for root account access. Like just now, whenever I log in into my root account, I have my MFA, multi-factor authentication. So that is another way of securing yourself, because again, root user is very powerful. In a sense, you can even delete your account. You can go inside there and say that, okay, I want to delete my account. So you don't really want to have everyone be able to go in as a root user. You should limit it, and in a sense of you should be able to secure how people go in and log in as root. For multi-factor authentication, they have multiple methods of doing it. I'm just using Microsoft Authenticator. That you can also use a dongle. I can't remember what they call it, a dongle there, whereby they will give you a number, and then you have to log in the number. For me, I'll just show you something. I'm not sure whether you can see it or not, but I'll just show you. Like I said, I am using Microsoft Authenticator. Okay. Authenticator also, you have to give your thumbprint. So that's another security there. Okay, so this is I'm not sure whether you can see it or not. Let me see whether you can see it or can. Oh, because of the color, is it? Okay, let me do. Okay, this one, can you see or not? Pun tak boleh okay. Oh, it has to be under me, behind me, I guess. Okay, something like that. Okay, so that is Authenticator. So if let's say you use Authenticator before, it is just a program whereby whenever you want to log in, or whenever you have to give permission, it's something like something similar to Maybank to you. Whenever you want to authorize a transaction, correct? I think most of you will be using that. Semua pakai Shopee, semua pakai beli barang pakai. Yeah, there. Najmi got one. So it's something similar.
It's for
So
your
when
ATM.
oh,
Your
you
ATM
ke?
accounts.
Oh, your ATM card ada eh? Oh, wow. Okay, I'm also grad from well, I didn't grad from UiTM, I grad from ITM. So it's a long time ago. I don't really have during my time we don't have that authenticated thing. Okay, so it's something that similar to Maybank to you. Whenever you want to use it, you have to authenticate it. You have to say that, okay, this is a transaction that I am doing. I am certified. I am authorizing it. So something like that. So you do have that for root user, but you don't have that for account users normally. But I think you can set it up, but normally people don't really set it up. Okay, so multi-factor authentication is you enter credential, provide username and password, provide second factor, MFA device code, and then after only everything is correct, they will grant you access to the account. Okay, IAM policy example, define an action, specific allowed operation like the one that I showed you just now. You have permission to view or to create EC2, or you are able to view and create RDS, or you are able to view and create Lambda, so and so forth. And then you give specific resource, whether this one, like I said just now, the resource can be S3, it can be RDS. So, and then you grant the access attach policy to the user. The policy can be either to the group or to the user or to the role. It's either one policy. Okay, next we will go into AWS organization. Okay, just now we saw how you can manage a user inside an account. Okay, AWS organization is when you have multiple accounts, because it's a huge organization. So maybe you will have one account for, let's say, R&D, one account for SAP, one account for administrator, let's say. So you have multiple accounts. You will use AWS organization to consolidate all these accounts. Okay. The way you do it is that I have never used this one because I only use one account all this while. I never have never really opened up multiple accounts. So I'm not really sure how it looks like. Organization. Yeah, sorry. This is up here. Organization. Create Amazon. This is work mail organization. Activity. This one. AWS organizations. So this one will go to global. It will not be under regional anymore. Okay, still loading. Okay, so while it's loading, let me just give you a bit of explanation. So when you create an organization, you will automatically create a root. There will be one root, which will be the parent container for all of the accounts. It will be, that they will create you a root. This will not be for any of the accounts. It will be a different root, which will manage all the accounts under it. So here you can see I have one account and there will be a root. This is no longer whenever I log in as Rosnan M Hotmail, it will only for this particular account. It's not gonna be for the root account. Okay, so you can centralize the control or permission towards the account. So you don't give permissions towards the user anymore. Not in a sense the user is still the user, but the hierarchy will be a bit higher. IAM is for user under the accounts. For organization, you are giving permissions towards the account itself. Okay. Also, you can also have something like for multiple accounts, you can group them up into a single group. You can have multiple accounts into one group. You can do that as well. Instead of having multiple accounts, you can have groups and then put the accounts under groups. You can also have something like that. Multi-party AWS account. So this is the organization. So I can have another account. I can add another account if I have one. But since I don't have any, so I will not be able to do this. So I will not be able to see multiple accounts here. You can, mine, the old one died off already, so I don't really have one anymore. But you can go, if let's say you have multiple credit cards and multiple email accounts, you can do this and you can try it out. Okay, they will separate it into what we call the organization unit. Let me see if they have it here or not. They should have. Organization unit. You will create one root at a parent container for all the accounts, and you can group the accounts with similar requirements. Like I said just now, you can group them up into what we call a organizational unit. What they call an OU, not OKU, but OU. Yes, organizational unit, and then underneath that, you have the member accounts, individual accounts in the organization. So as you can see, this is a account for the organization. So this is how, if let's say you have multiple accounts and you can consolidate and manage it under one, and it's at and the one UI and the one at one place. Okay. Once you create the organization unit, that organization, let me see whether is it here or not. To create the organization unit invitation. So this was to invite multi-party approval. Okay, I'll try and get it for you. Oh yeah, talking about that, I promised to give you the pricing for S3. So I found out, I went to the S3 and then I found out this is the pricing for it. Storage pricing, it will be 0.23 per gigabyte for the first 50 terabytes. This is the S3 standard. S3 intelligent tiers, remember the intelligent tiers? If let's say you are changing it, you don't know the frequency of you accessing your file, so you can have this 0.002 per 1000 objects. Okay, free access tier, first 50 terabytes, you can have 0.23, same price, lower price if the more you use, the lower the price will be. It's always the economy of scale. The more you use, the cheaper it will get. Beli borong. Okay. And then you have the express one. You have the one zone instant retrieval. Okay, so even cheaper, 0.004 per gigabyte. And then you have, see here, 0.03 from instant to flexible is lower again, 0.036 per gigabyte. Deep archive is 0.009, even cheaper. So this is what we were saying, that Glacier Deep Archive that takes hours for you to retrieve back. For archiving, you can use this, which is dirt cheap, not even 1 cent. And this is per gigabyte. All right, so this is okay. Let me just put this one inside our classroom pricing. So this one will be S3 pricing. Let me just get the title. Storage pricing, S3. Proceed. Here. Storage pricing. Okay, you can have a look at that one. Okay, this is something that I told you I will get it for you previously in the morning session. Okay, so we have our organization, our OU, organization unit. Where was it? This guy. Okay, and then you have the member account here underneath that. Okay, so service policy. The policy just now that we were talking about. You have this is for the OUs. It's the same thing. You giving policies to the organization unit, same as you're giving policies to groups. Whether this account can only do a certain stuff and have certain permissions only, so on and so forth. So applies to or use policies affect all accounts in the organization unit. So let's say you have organization unit, and then you have accounts underneath there, and you have users underneath there. So it will be cascaded down. It will bring recall that inherited from the parents to the children. So those are the policy to ensure compliances, ensure accounts meet security requirements. Okay, so these are the security control policies. It is still policy similar to IAM groups and IAM users. All right, so that one, let me see. I think I touched on that already. Anything else that I have here? Okay, I think that's all regarding the IAMs and also the organization unit. Okay, AWS artifacts. Okay, all right. What do you think is an artifact? I just want to know, what do you think when people say it is an artifact? Don't just look at agreement reports and whatsoever. So what do you think normally?
Deliverables, written, something that written.
Okay, deliverables. Anyone else? Okay, if let's say you have done some work in DevOps, development and operation, DevOps, they will have artifacts in DevOps. There is a common thing in DevOps. It is something that you produce inside in every stage. For I'm talking about DevOps, not AWS yet. I'm talking about DevOps. Okay, in DevOps you have something called artifacts, which is something that you produce in every stage. In developments, you have artifacts that you produce, and then when you go to testing, you will produce another artifacts, and then when you go to production, you have another artifacts. Those are the normal. Maybe normally after production, you will not have any artifacts, but in between those, you will create one artifacts. Okay, so those artifacts or the thing that you create or you deliver are differ from this type of artifacts. Okay, so for those who are from DevOps background, this is a totally different artifacts altogether. Okay, what AWS define as artifacts means it is paperwork, not paperwork, but something like all those agreements, all the agreements, all the standards that all the agreement standard, the reports as well, the reports as well. Yeah, so this one, yeah, that's standard certification, correct. Agreements, reports, compliance reports, as well as ISO certifications or the certification from other agencies, either if it is ISO or if it is security, cybersecurity agencies or something like that. Those are artifacts. If let's say AWS comply with those standards, it will be in the artifacts. For example, if your company wanna implement ISO 3000, 16,000, depending. Okay, so but how can you know whether or not the hardware or whatever security that AWS uses comply, or is it fulfill those ISO requirements or not? So to know that, you need to go to the AWS artifact and see whether this particular standards or this particular certification is how do you call is fulfilled by AWS or not. So that is what we call an artifact in AWS. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's go a bit further. Oh, then we go to DD. Okay, DOS already. All right, fine. Okay, any question regarding artifact first before we go into DOS? So again, artifacts is a report or certification that AWS complies. If, for instance, your company wanna apply for ISO certification or any type of certification, or in agreements with the, let's say you want to make an agreement with the government, and the government says that, okay, you need to comply with these standards. So to know whether, and you yourself, you are doing your project using AWS, so you want to know whether AWS comply to that particular standard or not. So you can go to the AWS artifacts and search for those what I call that. You can search for the report whether AWS comply to the standards or not. So that is the artifact. You can view the artifacts. I can show you where it is. I've been there a few times. Code artifacts. AWS artifacts. There you go. I was kind of worried I didn't see it at the top. Okay, so this is AWS artifact. So you can view. Go to console and search for the artifacts. You can go and look at the video as well. It's you can have. The problem is let me try it again. I want to try something. See whether or not. Wait. I learned something just now, so I'm not sure whether this one will you be able to hear the sound or not. once I play it.
Your security and compliance
Can.
needs are our business. We're
Can
listening,
Okay.
taking the time to understand the regulations and requirements that affect you. The goal? Deliver the information you need now. That's why we created AWS Artifact. It's part of our commitment to building a comprehensive compliance portfolio. Artifact is your go-to central resource for compliance-related information that matters to you. Audit reports, workbooks, agreements, and other useful resources. It's all in Artifact, available on demand so you can evaluate us, getting deep insight to assist in creating your own compliant environment. There's no charge to use Artifact. So if you're subject to certain regulations like HIPAA, you can electronically sign agreements. Or for PCI, download audit reports. Whatever you need, when you need it, you can find it in Artifact. What used to take days now takes minutes. To get started, go to the AWS Management Console and search Artifact.
So as you can see, it is something whereby if you want to and it's free. The word there, free for use. It's not easy to get free from AWS. All right, so if you have something requirements or you have what do you call that compliances that you need to fulfill, so you can just go and look to see whether or not AWS comply with it. All right, so if there is nothing on that, then we'll go into DOS. Yes, denial of service. I think most of you will hear this particular word, the DOS attack, the denial of service attack. Okay, there's two types. One is the normal DOS, the denial of service attack. Then there's another one is the DDoS, or distributed denials of service attack. Okay, first of all, what do you understand with DOS?
The attacker is sending a lot of requests. So false requests. So other user cannot access it because too much traffic.
Correct. Okay, I think that would be a great explanation regarding DOS. It is, for example, an example will be like you are taking order through phones. If let's say you have a business, and with the business, normally you will take orders from the phone call, let's say, and then this budak jahat lah, let's say, got the phone number and make a prank call. They just go and call your kedai, nak nasi ayam, nak mi goreng. They just say they want something, but they don't really want to take it or really do something with that particular order. It's just a prank. Okay, so that is they will congest your line so that other people who really needs to use, who really lapar nak beli makanan ni, will not be able to go and order the food. So that is one example of denial of service. People are being denied of getting the service. So that one is normal denial of service attack, and there is another one whereby we call a distributed denial of service attack, the DDoS. And DDoS, what happened is that it's the same thing, but this prankster, this budak jahat, will call his friends. There will be budak jahat A, budak jahat B, budak jahat C, making the call to the kedai. So instead of just one phone call, prank call, they will have multiple prank calls. So this is what DDoS feels like. You be bombarded with packets or with requests that are not really genuine. So for people who are their business is taking orders or something like for example, if you are running a shop, DDoS is something that is very scary because you will not be able to get to your customer. Your customer will not be able to request their services. And also, if let's say this happened a few times, then the customer will lose what do you call that? Will lose faith in you. They will not trust you anymore, and they will find other businesses. So it is something that businesses really don't want to, will try to their level best to be protected from DDoS. And this is something that AWS provides to all of their customers. Okay. This is a free protection. This is what this AWS Shield standard is, a free protection against common attack. Okay. So it is AWS service that they provide freely to their customer. Okay, it will protect application against DDoS attacks, DOS as well as DDoS attacks. AWS give you either AWS Shield standards or AWS Shield Advanced. Okay, this one is a paid service. This one is a free service. Okay, Shield, let me just go and see. WAF and Shield. Okay. Okay, so this one is global also. Can we go to the Singapore? No, cannot. It's a global one. Okay, cannot. So this is a global service. Okay, so it will protect your web application from common web exploit. AWS WAF is a web application firewall. Web application firewall. This one, web application firewall service that lets you monitor web requests that are forwarded to an Amazon API gateway, an Amazon CloudFront distribution, or an application load balancer. You can protect these resources based on condition that you specify, such as IP address that the request originated from. So you can have Shield, AWS Shield. Okay, here, getting started. I don't have any. I didn't start mine yet because I think that one of the reason. Okay. So this is Shield Advanced. Normal Shield will be free. Global Shield activity Shield will be free, but they what do you call that? For the advanced one, they will have paid services. Okay. That's the difference between normal Shield and the paid one. Okay. So back to this. They will automatically protect, just like it was said just now, it will protect AWS customer from DOS and DDoS attacks. It provides you the firewall from the gateway all the way to your load balancer. They will protect you in such a manner. In a sense, they do have a variety of analysis technique, in a sense, the in-shield, to determine which one is a malicious traffic, whether this particular packet from this IP is malicious or not, and they do it in real time. It's not like okay, 2-3 saat, check it, that particular packet has already gone in. No, it's not. In real time, they will know whether this packet is malicious or not. They have an algorithm. Most of it is running on AI already these days. So they will know and if it is malicious, with malicious intent, they will just lock it and discard it. All right. So the Advanced Shield is a paid service. They will provide detailed diagnostic and it's not just to be able to detect and protect, to mitigate the DDoS attack, but they will also give you a detailed diagnostic of the attack itself. Okay, that's what Shield Advanced will provide you. It is, again, it is integrated like just now. As it was saying just now, it is integrated by continuous, not this one. AWS offers 2 tiers, standard and advanced. Not this one, just now. Was it in? It's not there anymore. The one just now that it was saying that it is integrated with the Route 53. It is integrated with your load balancing, so on and so forth, to give you real-time protection against DDoS attack. Even complex DDoS attacks also, DDoS attack, it's able to detect. This is what they are claiming. Okay. So there is 2 type of shield. One is a standard and one is a advanced. Advanced ones is paid. Standard one is free protection. Okay, and then you will have the WAF, the WAF protection. Just now, what is WAF again? Ingat tak? What did I say? What did I show you just now? F is for firewall.
Web application.
Correct. It's a web application firewall. You can
Yeah.
integrate the shield with the WAF. You can have both of them. Okay. And whereby you can create a complex rule for complex attack mitigation. Okay. Real-time metrics, that one is visibility. When you create this, they will give you, in a sense, a real-time metrics regarding the attack. Okay. Other than that, okay, let me see. Okay, there is a definition. Okay, let's go. Okay, so these two are quite straightforward. It is just I want to call that service that is given to protect you from DDoS attack. This one is a bit complex. Okay, that's why I was seeing whether or not they give you any additional information or not. Okay, they do, so that's good. Okay, so for WAF, you need to create, or you need to define rules. This is something whereby you need to work closely with the, okay, there you go. That's the thing there, ACL. Okay, who remember ACL? Yesterday we talked about ACL. It's a stateless access control. Is a stateless component where it controls the coming in and the going out of packets. It has a list of allow and deny lists. Okay, remember that? Okay, so you need to define the rules. You need to create web ACL with allow and block conditions, and then with this you will work together with the application load balancer before it goes into the instance itself, and also it will work together with the CloudFront in a sense when it's giving you the IP address into your gateway. It will work with these two to see whether or not the IP address that's coming is a whitelisted IP or a blacklisted IP, to whether or not you want to allow or block the traffic. Okay. And then once you do that, you will inspect the request, analyze incoming against the rule. This is what I was saying just now, to see whether it is from a block IP or a whitelisted IP. allow legitimate traffic, and block the threats. Stop malicious requests from reaching the application. So this one, let me just go and show you again where ACL is. Okay, here. DNS. Okay, here, the ACL. So your WAF is somewhere around here. In a sense, it will work with the ACL is inside here because it is yours. It will be inside your VPC. So to block the packet from coming into your subnet, it will work together with these guys, CloudFront and then CloudFront, your gateway as well, your load balancer here, the CloudFront and load balancer to ensure that the packets are all safe coming into your network, into your cloud. Okay, this one. Okay, here. Okay, whether you want to allow a traffic or you want to block the traffic. Okay, so this is an example of it. Request for a customer, I would like to access the application. So the AWS WAF will see you are coming from an IP address that has not been blocked. So you may enter. Malicious threats, I would like to access the application. You are coming from an IP address that has been blocked. You cannot enter. So these are the rules that you have already set inside the WAF. Okay, so this is just an example. If let's say your application are receiving packets from the IP that you already registered as safe and those IP that you have already registered as malicious intent IPs, in a sense of a blacklisted IP. Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay. Yeah, okay, then you have key management service. Okay, key management service is again, these are all in the subject of security. Okay, here we are currently in the subject of security. So key management is also a part of it whereby you are encrypting your data using public key and private key. But AWS key management system is not where you implement the key. It is where you manage the keys. Okay, don't get that confused. Some people confuse that, oh, key management services, whereby we use the key there. No, you don't use the keys here. You manage the keys. You create keys. That's where it is. Okay, I'll show you also this one. Key management, KMS. Key management service. Okay, easily create keys and control encryption across AWS and beyond. So this is where you can create keys and manage those keys. Manage service that make it easier for you to create and manage keys and control the use of encryption across a wide range of AWS services. KMS is a secure and resilient service that uses 140-3 validated hardware security modules to isolate and protect your keys. So this is where you keep your key store. You create your keys and then you store your keys, or you can also import keys externally into your AWS. Okay, so this is a part of security as well. A reason being because why it is a part of security, because you don't really want just anyone to be able to have access to your cloud. Like for example, just now, for example, yesterday, I think yesterday I showed you when we create a EC2, you can create a key pair. Now let me show you again, just in case if let's say you forgot about it. EC2, let's just go to EC2 again. And then let me just go to an instance. The instance that I already have. As I press Sydney again, no wonder. Okay, Singapore. Okay, let's go into here. And for this one, I'll show you where is it? I think I showed you yesterday when we created the key. there is the key pair assigned at launch. Only those who have the key will be able to access this particular instance. Remember that one when this one, and then we created the SSH. I think I showed you I SSH to this particular instance. So only those that have the key be able to access your resources. So this is where you can manage all those keys that are created. Okay. Okay, so they will have a cryptographic key. Okay, let me see here. Yeah.
Yang keys tu kan, sebab kita manage keys semua kat dalam management ni. Untuk access ni ada security juga ke macam mana?
To access the service,
Access the management service.
yeah, okay. That's what I'm saying. To access the management service, okay, to go here, once you are inside, then you be able to have a look at it already. That's why when you want to create a user account, you should define the policy already. What users be able to see what services. Get it? Because all right. Okay. The thing is, like I said again, the contractor that built the house give you all these facilities, but how you use it is the best way of using it. You should know how to use it. It's not like they give it to you and then you don't. Okay lah, this one we use it as something else. No, you should be able to use it properly. You need to use it properly. You should use best practices. All right. So this key management. Okay. So there's nothing much here. It's just that for you to be able to create keys and also to manage your keys. That's about it for key management. All right. So key management, you create keys, you encrypt your data with the keys, or you can control access, manage who can use the encryption keys, and also audit usage. That's about basically what the key management service is. All right. Next one is the inspector. Okay. Sorry. Did I? Is it time? Oh no, not yet. I still have half an hour. Okay. Good. Okay. Inspector. Amazon Inspector. Amazon Inspector is something that is a service that is given by Amazon to okay, it says this here, it is automated, fully automated security assessment, ongoing vulnerability detection, and finding rank by severity. What Amazon Inspector does is that it will check, it will go and investigate to see whether or not your resource or your environment has any vulnerability, any security availability, vulnerability. Okay, correct. The correct word. Vulnerability. Okay, so that's what the inspector does. It will go and check on the vulnerability to see whether or not your system have anything that needs to be fixed. It's sepatutnya dipanggil inspector. They will go and check. That's the inspector's job. Okay. Ongoing vulnerability detection, it will do it continuously, 24/7. Okay, and they will have priority levels, whether it is severe. I think they show it here, the green, blue, green, yellow. No, they don't have it. Okay. Let me just show you inspector then. Okay, here we go. Okay, did I miss something? Okay. Inspector now support mapping. Okay, fine. Just load up. Okay. While waiting it for load, let me just. Okay, correct. That's good. Okay. Okay, how it works. Okay, let me just zoom it. Can I zoom it? How do I zoom using this? My mouse doesn't work that way. Can I zoom? Does it work? No, doesn't work that way. It's okay then. You can open up and then you can see the Amazon Inspector. Too small for me to read it, and you need to enable the inspector. Then it will go and discover any vulnerability in either your let me see, what is that? What is that? Oh, that's just real time. Okay, I thought it says the resources. Okay, so it will go and inspect your environment and see whether or not there is any vulnerability. Okay, one thing is that it will not go and check your code. Okay, that is one thing that it will not do. So don't expect that the inspector will also go and inspect your code and to see whether there is any vulnerability inside the code. That one is beyond the scope of the inspector. Okay, benefit, it will automatically discover and scanning, continuous scanning of the workload, discover the workload, continuous scan them vulnerability across the organization. If, let's say, for instance, an example, whether or not it is you are opening a certain port to the public, so certain things like that, whether if your, for example, your EC2, you have any installation that is that have some vulnerability, that you have installed some software that have vulnerability. Let's say your OS that you installed in your EC2 is not updated with the security patches, so it will let you know. But it will not go, because the OS is still, you get it still from AWS when you create your EC2. So they will know whether or not any security patches have been updated, so on and so forth. So those things they will check, but they will not check your code. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, so inspector, what they will do is that they will go and inspect. They will go and check continuously what is going on with the environment, and to see any vulnerability, and give you and provide recommendations and on how to resolve these potential issues. They will give you a rank, in that sense, severe or non-moderate, so on and so forth. No, what do I call it? No vulnerability, so on and so forth. So they have 3 priority levels. So that one is the inspector. All right. Next, we'll look into the guard duty. All right. Guard duty is where, as the name implies, it is a guard. They will go around and check, monitors and check. They don't inspect. They don't go and check. They will just go, okay. Anything, people coming in, people coming out, okay, they check, monitors. Okay, it is a service whereby they provide intelligent analysis. This one, intelligent analysis, intelligent threat detections. They try their level best to detect if there is any threat to your infrastructure or to your resources. Okay, and you can also have automated response if, let's say, there is something that it detects, and then you can configure whether to use Lambda function for remediation. In a sense, if, let's say, something happens, you want to have your Lambda to be triggered and do something. You can have it with guard duty. Something like you tell the guard your something like your office guard ataupun your household guard, let's say, guard depan rumah ataupun anywhere. So you just tell them, okay, if you see any suspicious people, call 911 or call 999. Okay, so those things you can do, that you can configure to have a function with your guard. Okay, so what they will do is the guard will always go and patrol that will go and monitors the network activity and also the account behavior. That's another one. Oh, sorry. There will also yes, correct. Okay, they will also go and monitors to see if there is any threats. Also, if let's say they see any abnormal behavior to your resources. For example, you can go also put guard duty. One of the guard duty will be if let's say you see this particular if you see this instance still running after 5 p.m. For instance, you are taking you are using the package whereby you should your application should your EC2 should only be running from 9 to 5. After working hours, it should be shut down. On the weekend, it should be shut down. So you can put something in the guard duty to monitor if there is any abnormality, if your application starts running on the weekend or after 5, you should create something. You should configure and do something. You should trigger something. Either shut it down again or send SNS or something like that. You can have that. Okay. You have okay. So this guard duty. Did I open it up? Did I? Oh no, this is inspected. Let me show you guard duty. Guard duty. Okay, this one. Okay, you have to enable it. I did not enable it. Yeah, I didn't start it yet. Okay. Amazon guard duties, malware protection for S3, so on and so forth. Guard duty malware protection. So there's quite a number of them that you can use guard duty for. Okay. Right. So let's see. Because I think this is the last. Okay, correct. This is the last slide. All right. So best practices for security will be least privileges. This is the one that I was telling you. When you create a account or when you create a group, so and so forth, give nothing first. Once you know that, okay, this one requires a certain policy, then allow the policy. The least, the better. Because that will limit the threat to your environment. Okay, enable MFA, especially for your root. This is so to safeguard your account. People will not go in and delete your account, or people go in and again, root have a huge privilege, so do safeguard it. MFA, multi-factor authentication. Use IAM roles for temporary access, people who are your employees or something like that, because employee changes. Hari ni kerja, besok berhenti, and then you get a new employee, so on and so forth. So do create IAM roles for employees, and then give the least amount of privileges required for them to do work. Give them the privileges that they only need, not excessive privileges. You should encrypt sensitive data. This goes also regarding the RDS, your database, whether is it in transit and at rest, also something that you need to take into account. And regularly audit security controls. You should do, in a sense, you should enable your guard duty. You should enable your shield to safeguard the, like for instance, the shield to safeguard your network, the traffic that's coming in and the traffic that's coming out of your resources. Okay, so that finishes module 6. This will be our last module, monitoring and analytics. It's almost 1 hour and a half. We still have 10 more minutes. Do you have any particular questions? No. Okay, if you don't have any particular questions, we can do one quiz. I think we should have enough time to do one quiz for 20 minutes from, let me see. Let me see. I should have it here. I should have one. Yeah, security, module 1 to 6. Okay, I'm assigning this to you. Okay, so let's have a look. Sure. So you have one already. This one. Okay. This one, if I'm not mistaken, should also have 20 questions. Yes, 20 questions. So I'll give you 20 minutes. Same thing. Same. So we'll start at 3:42. So we will finish at 4:02. No, 4:10. I'll give you 10 minutes of rest as well because it's already 1 hour and a half. So you should have your 10-minute rest. Okay. So we'll start again at 4:10. So either you want to do the test now, or you want to do the test after you take your 10-minute breaks. It's up to you. But we will start at 4:10. Okay, time's up. You can have your 10-minute rest. We'll start again at 8 minutes dah lah kot. 4:10, where can discuss the question just now. Okay? Okay, it's 4:10, so let's continue. All right, before we continue to our module 7, let's go through the quizzes just now. Let's go and see the quiz. Okay, for quiz from module 1 to module 6, let's see the result that we have. I have 20 responses. There's, I think, 2 people that didn't hand in. Out of these 20 responses, all of you passed. All of you got 16 and above. 6 of you got 20 over 20. 7 of you got 19 over 20. 4 of you got 18 over 20. And 3 of you got 16 over 20, which is very, very good. All right. Okay, one of them hand in. Okay, so 4 of you got 16 now. Okay. Okay. So let's go and see the question. Question number 1. Let me see. Question number 1. Oh, everybody got it correct. Okay, what is the main advantage of cloud computing? Okay, this one is pretty easy. Elastic scalability. Which AWS service provides a virtual firewall to an EC2 instance level? Okay, did anyone get it wrong? Okay, 2 got it wrong. All right, so if you look at EC2 instance, AWS provide virtual firewall to the EC2 instance level. If you look at your notes, okay, this is your note. Let's go and look at this one. Okay, before it goes into your what do you call that, EC2 itself, EC2 instance, you have this guy that kind of like protects it from the packet that's going in. So you have route 53 will be out here, the internet, the security group is here, and then network ACL is outside before going into the subnet, and then direct connect would be the highway, the direct highway from outside to yours. So the firewall at the EC2 instance level will be the security group. All right. So which AWS service allows you to publish message to subscribers? This should be so easy. Okay, fine. Okay, got one. All right. Okay, so this one, the word here is to publish message. Some of you will also, because this SQS and SNS are both messages, messaging systems from AWS. But again, this one, you don't really, well, you, not to say you don't really publish message, but it is, this is push and this is pull. You go and see the message and then you do something about it. This one, you will send the message, you will publish. The word here is publish. There is always, whenever you look at SNS, there is a what do you call that? A publisher and also another word for it. So that's the reason why SNS is the correct answer for this. Okay, the next one. Which type of storage is ideal for storing large amount of unstructured data like images and videos? This one would be S3. Okay, okay, right. So there's some of you answer differently. Okay, so I'll let you know. Okay, unstructured data, storing large amount of unstructured data. EBS is block. Yes, you can store a large amount, but it's not ideal. RDS for database, definitely not for large data at all. EFS is file system, which this one is more catered for mutual or file sharing. It's not really ideal for large amount of data, but it is ideal for file sharing. So this is because it can cater up to 5 terabytes. Which AWS service help automate the provisioning of infrastructure as code? This is CloudFormation. This one, I showed it to you yesterday. Anyone got? Okay. Okay. WAF is something, Amazon VPC, nobody answers this, but some of you answered WAF. Why WAF is wrong is because WAF is something that you need to set up with the ACL, the list. So it's not really as infrastructure as code. This is more or less, it's something like when you want to create Dockers and stuff like that. So you're provisioning the infrastructure with a simple template with a code. All right, what component allows a VPC to communicate with the internet? You will have the, okay, let me see. Got anyone? No, I already got it correct. Good job. Internet gateway. So good. Okay, number 7. Anyone got it? Okay, everybody answers D, which is good. Please here. Right, next. Okay, this one I already got it correct as well. What is the purpose of RDS? Relational database. Okay, number 9, security features provide additional authenticator factor. It will be the MFA. IAM roles still uses username and passwords, but MFA, it adds another device other than beyond username and password, So you have MFA. SCP and ACL is just the list, so it's not even there. Okay. Right. Number 10, everybody got it correct, which is which AWS security model define responsibility is shared responsibility model, correct. Which two are valid benefits of auto scaling? This one should be correct as well. Okay, good. Everybody got it correct. Yeah, okay, got capacity as well as this one. Good. Which two AWS service example of managed database service? Okay, so this one, let's see. Good. Everybody got it correct as well. Okay, EC2 is not database. EBS is not database as well. So these two are database. SQS is messaging. So none of those as well. Two components are required to create a secured VPN connection to a VPC. You will have a shield is not. Shield is for packet for security. Virtual private gateway, yes, which is one of them. Internet gateway is not really WAF also is not really the correct answer. The correct answer would be the customer gateway. The internet gateway, if you look at your notes, okay, internet gateway is here. Okay, this is more or less for the, let me see the question again. Two components required to create a secure VPN. This is for the VPN connection to your VPC. So VPN's connection, I think I showed you to VPN. Okay, here. So you have virtual private gateway, and also you have another gateway here, which is the customer gateway. It's not written there, but it is okay. My fault that it is a customer gateway. But I think by using elimination, you should also get the answer because WAF is not a part of VPN. Shield is also not part of VPN. Internet gateway, it is still not part of the VPN structure because the internet gateway is way here, which you don't really go through it at all. All right. Which two type of data are best stored in S3? Encrypted password? No. Okay, so this one, did anyone got it wrong? Okay, no, everybody got it correct. Good. Okay, so it is backup and video, correct, which is good. Okay, another thing, talking about this, in S3, backup archives can also be database archive because database, you can also export database. You do know you can export a database, right? You can export it in a sense. You can make it into one file, dump file, and not dump but dump file. You can create it into a dump file, and then you can export it to others, or you can save it as archive. You can also do that, but it is still an archive. Okay. Next one, 15. Which two tools can be used to manage AWS resources via programming? Is CLI and SDK. CloudFront is not. Did anyone get it correct? Oh, no. Okay. CloudFront is only for getting the data. Okay, Elastic Beanstalk is not there. It's not there also because it is just for web applications. And then billing console, no as well. SDK is something that you can do for programming, and CLI also your command line interface, so you can do it. Okay, which two actions are the customer responsibility and a shared responsibility model? Okay, securing the physical data centers, that one is definitely, let me see. Okay, all right, some of you answered something else. Okay, this one falls on AWS, so it's not really customer based. Encrypting data at rest, yes, this is on you because it's your database, it's your responsibility in terms of security itself. All right, so managing IAM user permission, yes, this is on you for security. Patching the AWS infrastructure, no, this one is on AWS. Ensuring EC2 software updates, okay, EC2 software update is depending on, it is up to it is your responsibility, but it does not affect the security itself. If, for instance, you don't really have to update. There are certain statements like mine. I created my EC2. I don't really update because there is no update. So it is my responsibility. But if, let's say, there is no update, it is the final model already. So that it does not include in the security as well as, in that sense, doesn't really have in the list as for things that customer have to do. In some cases, you just want a static website, you just put it there, and if, let's say, patches and everything, that one can also, it can be, I'm not saying that this is not one of the answers. You can have this, but if, let's say, you are looking at it in terms of a security point of view, these two are the ones that I think I should put in security sense, or only then these two will make more sense. Okay, next one. Which two AWS security services provide protection against distributed and denial? Okay, and we just learned about this. Okay, some of you got it differently. Okay, this is to protect against denial, DDoS. Okay, we know that Shield is one of them, and we know that WAF is one of them. Okay, I already showed you Shield and WAF can work together. So these two are, inspector is to inspect if there is any vulnerability in your cloud, I would say. Okay, IAMs is not, you don't protect it against DDoS. Inspector also, it does not have to be DDoS. It can be something else. So it's not specifically for DDoS. Guard duty also the same as inspector. So if it is to monitor the activity, or if there is any unusual activities in your system. Which two features are included in AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM? So you should have that. Let me see. Yes, I already got it correct. Good. Which two are correct about security group? Okay. Yes. Yesterday we look at security group and ICL. One is stateful and one is stateless. Okay. ACL is always stateless because we check the packet coming in and also the packet going out. So you know that it is not stateless. It should be stateful because security groups are stateful. Whoever that comes in, you already check. People who come in, they can come out. You don't have to check anymore. Yeah, come out. It's okay. So because you check people who are coming in, we have it default to deny all inbound. We allow all outbound. People coming in can go out, but you come in, we deny it unless we check first. So default is we deny all inbound, we allow all outbound. So that's for 19. Number 20, which two services are useful for file-based storage in AWS? For file-based, okay, this one, you will have file storage, which is, you can use it for file sharing, EFS, this one. Okay, this one is object-based. I always tell you, if it is for object-based. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the same question that I put out previously. I think I did give out this one previously in module 125 or module 124 or something like that. So this is, I think, the same question again. So it is EFS and FSX. Okay, S3 is for object, RDS is relational database, EBS, yeah, this is something else. All right, so that's for the quiz. And now we will go into our last module for today, not our last module, our last module for today, which is module number 7. We have half an hour, should have enough time to finish one module, and you can do the next quiz as your homework. Because there's only 3 things inside here that we need to touch about. Okay, so this one, no, let me just go all the way to module number 7. Wow, yeah, this one just now. Okay, number 7. All right, in this particular module, number 7, we will look at the approach to monitor our AWS environment. Just now, we make sure our security. We look at the security of the environment or the application in our AWS. Okay, now we are looking at monitoring and analyzing the activity for it doesn't have to be in terms of security, it has to be in terms of whatever it is going on with our resources. Okay, so you make sure that you can differentiate between those two, because this one will look at CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and Trusted Advisor. Just now we have what? GuardDuty. What else? Semua dah lupa dah. We have before this, Inspector. Good. So we have 3 things also before this. Sebelum pada tu kan, we do have other components, but you have to remember those are for security. This one is more catered for monitoring your resources. Okay, so let's look at this. All right, so monitoring and analytic, it is tools to track, to analyze, and to optimize your AWS environment. Okay, learning objective, to approaches to monitor your environment. So these are the 3 services that we will look at: CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and and Trusted Advisor, benefit metrics and alarm, API calls, and best practice recommendation. So first of all, we will look at CloudWatch. CloudWatch works on metrics. You don't supply it metrics, it will not work. That is very important. So you need to know CloudWatch have metrics, and it can give you alarms when you set it properly. When you set, if let's say the metric, because you provide a metrics, if a certain value goes over a threshold, a limit that you set, then it will give you an alarm. So that's what CloudWatch is. It will have a dashboard, single view for all metrics. In actuality, in all of your resources, you will have metrics. It's not that to say you don't have metrics. If you go to EC2 or again EC2, let me just go here, EC2 just now. If you look at your instance, you do have some metrics. It's not that you don't have, you do have. It's just that, again, Sydney, okay, let me just show you quick one. Okay, instances, public IP. Okay, here you can have this. Where is it? Okay, is this you should have some. Where is it? Oh yeah. Oh, they don't. Okay, oh, it's not running. That's one of the things. Okay, if let's say we go and run it for a bit. Now I remember. If it's not run, how you can have metrics? You need to have it running to so that you can have metrics on it. Pending, okay, if let's say it's running, then it will tell you how many RAMs, how much RAM it is using, how many processors and stuff like that. You will have networking, security, so and monitoring. So here you do have monitoring. I'm not saying that you don't have monitoring for it. You do have how much utilization, you do have alarm for this. But if let's say you want to have everything consolidated into one dashboard, you go and use a CloudWatch. Okay, let me just go here and stop the instance for a bit. Just let it running first. It's okay. Okay, let's go to CloudWatch. No, you don't have it yet. CLOUDWC. Okay, CloudWatch. Okay, CloudWatch is where you can have all of that and dashboards here. Okay, you can have alarms, but before you have alarms, you need to provide it with metrics. Okay, it will not have any alarms if you don't provide metrics. You can create alarm, you have to select the metrics. As I said, you need to have metrics, only then you can have alarm. The metric itself, it can be anything. I have EBS, I have EC2. For instance, if let's say I go for EC2, I can go for per metrics, let's say. Then let's just go for CPU usage or CPU utilization. Let's say for my Nginx, network out, network in, status CPU. Okay, CPU credit usage. Let's say this one. I'm taking this particular metrics. So it will create some metrics here. Okay, select this metric. So I will have some value. Okay, reason being I don't have a lot because I don't run it so much. So if let's say we put it, okay, once it reaches here, I want to create a alarm, for example. So now you can create it. So you can create it here, whereby threshold unit, a static greater than whatsoever, let's say 0.4. And then next, and how the alarm is it supposed to give you some SNS? Are you supposed to have a lambda triggered or something and so forth? So that is what you can do with CloudWatch. Okay, let's just go to CloudWatch again. Okay, so you have alarm and you will have a dashboard whereby you can see all the alarms, so on and so forth. CloudWatch, you can have that. Okay, like I said, mine, because I didn't really have anything. So one of the reasons why this kind of, I would say it's kind of hard to get a really good data, because most of the instances we don't run it so much. So for me to show you a real life data, it's not really viable. But you can see that is a place whereby you can create CPU utilization. Let's say you have a billing, you don't want to exceed a certain amount. Like I was saying just now, if let's say you see that this particular instance is running during office hour, then you can create an alarm for it. So this is where you can create that. All right, so that's CloudWatch. Okay, so you have a matrix. CloudWatch need a matrix. You need to define which metric is it. Is it either EC2? Is it either S3? Where the people are what do you call that, accessing your file, the amount of people accessing it, so on and so forth. So you can give a matrix to it. You have to define the matrix, and the matrix is from which source. As just now I showed you, the source that I picked up was EC2. You can also have S3, like I said, and they will provide you with the visualization, with the graph, so on and so forth, of the performance over time. So CloudWatch alarm, you have to set the threshold. Just now I set threshold 0.4, so you can have that, and then you track the values, again the threshold, and if the threshold, CloudWatch will monitor that particular metrics and will trigger an action if you set whatever action that you needed to do, either lambda, either SNS, so on and so forth. And then with the action triggers, it will notify. when the alarm is triggered. Okay, so CloudWatch dashboard, just now I don't have that many, but this is an example of it, of how CloudWatch dashboard can be. If, for instance, you guys have experience using Grafana, so it's exactly the same. With Grafana, you can check CPU utilization, memory utilization. So basically, it's almost the same. If you don't know what Grafana is, you can just go and search about it. Grafana is one of the tools that people normally use to monitor a certain application or certain server. Grafana is one of them. All right. Next one is CloudTrail. As the name itself, it is trailing. Okay, you can see trail, right? So whenever people say trail, you can see like a road. So this is it will give you a complete history, but history of API calls only. Not every history. It is history of user activity and the API calls. Not all activities. It's the user activity as well as the API calls. As for example, user activity, who logs in, who logs out, what does this particular person do, create something, delete something, run something, so on and so forth. A user activity as well as the API calls to the particular resource. Okay, so that's what CloudTrail does. Security and compliance, it tracks who did what and when. See, who did what, when did he do it, what did he do. Okay, that's that. And they do have a filtering capability. Okay, as example, let's go for CloudTrail. Okay. Again, I might not have a lot of activity here. How it works, okay, create a trail. I have not created any trail. Start AWS, okay, trail detail. Okay, fine. Let's just create one. Okay, so you have the management event, Asia Pacific disable. Again, you can see that it will log and then save it here inside the S3 bucket. Okay, that's how it will work. Okay, so any activity is done, then it will log it into this particular file. So when you open it up, you can filter it by time, by user, who did this, who did that, what this particular user did when they come in, and so on and so forth. Okay, CloudTrail, trail dashboard. So you have this logging. So start instance, create runs. This is one of some of the histories that happens. Okay, here you can view history. Here you can set the filter like just now. So you can create, in a sense, the event ID or event name, so on and so forth. So these are the CloudTrail, the event history. Okay. All right. Next one, an example of it. Okay, this is you log in and then you see there's a new user. User IM Mary appears, and then you need to know who created it. So you can go into the CloudTrail and filter by create user API action in IM, and then you can discover who created what. That is an example. This is a very simple example for it. Okay, CloudTrail Insight, it enables features. You have to enable it. Optional CloudTrail's capability, detect unusual activities on any abnormality detection, and then you can review and you can see the full event for that particular day, or so on and so forth. So you can have CloudTrail to do that. Basically, if you really look into it, it's more like when you are logging, you are looking at a log, what happened, so on and so forth. That's basically what CloudTrail is. So that's the three main components for monitoring and analytics. So there's not much there. Okay, complete history, CloudWatch. So this one needs metric again. CloudWatch will need metrics, and you can trigger alarms from CloudWatch. Okay, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, there's no alarm. So you have to remember, CloudTrail does not have alarm. It has mostly the log of what happens inside your environment. Okay, that's two. The last one that we'll be looking at will be the AWS Trusted Advisor. Okay, as the name applies, it is an advisor. So what it does is that it will give you recommendations of what is the best practice with AWS. If let's say you create like just now, remember when I created my EC2 and then I disable when I created my EC2, not EC2, S3, when I create my S3 and I set it as open to public, and then they pop up some message. So those are the things like the advice that they will give, what you should do as best practice if you are using AWS Trusted Advisor. Okay, so you can optimize your performances. They will give you, okay, here, let me show you. The advice will be to they examine your environment against the best practice, and then they will recommend you improvement on how to use the best practice, in a sense, to apply those best practice to your environment. Okay, the category that they provide, the advice that they give will be in this sector, in that sense, in this category, in terms of cost optimization to reduce unnecessary expenses. They will look into your activity and see how maybe you have an S3 standard, and then they see that your S3, your files are not being accessed that frequent. They can advise you, maybe this one, you don't put it as standard, maybe you put it as infrequent access, IA, or something like that. So it is to perform, other than that, it gives you advice on performance, how to improve the speed and the efficiency of your application, your S3, or to be able to access your file faster, so on and so forth. Okay, service limit, track usage against limit, fault tolerance, improve resiliency, and vulnerability for security as well. So it's not per se for security, okay, like the one that we have seen just now, like the inspector. This one is for overall environment. It's not just for security, but it's overall, in a sense, for the performance, for the cost utilization, the service. So you will see this. I didn't enable mine, so you should be able, if let's say you will see this logo. This logo is for cost optimization. This one is for performance. So here you have 9 items that you need to be aware of. This one, everything is good. Performance, security, okay, you have something. 11 is something that you should look at. There's a warning there. 5 for fault tolerance, and then service limits. Okay, so they will have green will be no problem. 7 will be you need to investigate. The red one, you need to take action. It is not to take action, it is a recommended action for you to have a look at, in a sense, to make sure that your system is resilient enough, is secure enough, and it's good enough to for the environment, or not environment, the overall environment, but your cloud environment. Let me see whether I can go into the, yeah. So here you can see you have the, I don't have, so it says that, there's no action recommendation. There is no investigation recommended. So you have the cost optimization. You have the performance. These are the categories that I was talking about. Upgrade your to get all the trusted, okay, to get all the checks, then you need to upgrade. Yeah. I'm not going to do that. Sorry to say. Okay, security-wise, fault tolerance, service limit, and operational excellence. So these are this is new operational excellence. Okay, I don't think so. We have that last time. So performance security 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, they have a new one. Operational excellence. Choose check a name of the C recommendation to improve the operational readiness of your AWS resources. Might recommend that you enable various features and service in AWS to ensure it is ready for operational. Like I said, AWS always introduce something new sometimes. So like I said, I have not seen it there before. So that's why, hence the reason why there's only 5. So nowadays they have 4 and they have 6 already. So that's one of the things that you need to take into consideration. Okay, so those are the things, the categories that trusted advisors will advise you on. It will look at your environment, it will monitor your environment, and then by looking at your environment, it will give you advice or recommendation on what to either, not to say to upgrade, but what is it that you can do to improve the security, the performance, fault tolerance, so on and so forth. Okay, so there's only 3 for monitoring and analysis. There is the CloudWatch. Okay, you have the CloudWatch, you have the CloudTrail. CloudWatch is more towards when they're talking about metrics and alarm, then it will be CloudWatch. When they're talking about logs, or they want to talk about the activity, to track activities, it will be CloudTrail. If it is to give recommendation in terms of these categories, cost optimization and everything, it will be trusted advisor. They can also give you questions regarding, okay, trusted advisor, what are the categories that the categories that trusted advisor will provide you. So you have to choose the categories. There will be 5, but on the web you can see there's 6 already. The additional one is operational excellence. Okay, so again, like I said, AWS always adding things up to their repertoire so that they'll give you more services to best satisfy their customer. All right, that should wraps up chapter 7, I think. Okay, trusted advisor dashboard. You have the green, the triangle, and the red. Recommended action, recommended investigation, and no problem detected. Like how I showed you here just now. Recommendation, nothing there. Okay, so they have this one. This one, I don't have any green. Okay, anyway. Okay. So monitoring cases, use cases, you should remember this. Services, CloudWatch, primary use is to monitor for the resource monitoring. You have to give it a matrix to monitor your resource. And then key benefit is performance visibility. You can see it in the dashboard. CloudTrail is to track activity, security and compliance. You can see what is happening, who did what, and so on and so forth. Trusted advisor is best practice check. When you say best practice, it will go for trusted advisor. Optimizing guidance, it will give you guides on how to optimize your AWS environment, your resources, so on and so forth. Okay, knowledge check, CloudWatch, monitor resource utilization, it needs metrics and the access metrics from a dashboard, and you can have alarms to it. And when the metrics exceed a certain threshold, you can trigger an alarm and set an alarm for it. Security checks, AWS Trusted Advisor checks upon, checks for open access permission, like the one just now, like for public access and everything like that. And then Trusted Advisor category, you can have performance and fault tolerance, as well as cost optimization, so on and so forth. categories. You have 5 categories there. Okay, so 5 key categories. Trusted advisor checks area. You have 5 categories just now. Actually, you can have 6 already. Cost optimization, performance, security, so on and so forth. You can go and have a look at it again. This one. Okay, security, fault tolerance, service limits. So all those 5. Okay, you have every 15 minutes. Okay, CloudTrail have event updated every 15 minutes. Additional resources, knowledge that you need to know. 3 core services that used for monitoring and analytics: CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and Trusted Advisor. Okay, so that's end our module number 7. We have AWS pricing and support. We have 8, 9, and 10, which are not really that big. I will try to finish most of it during the day, during the morning session. I will try to finish 2 modules during the morning session and 1 during the after lunch. So by 3 o'clock, we should be able to have our first mock exam. So that's my plan. If I can make it faster, I'll do it faster so that you can have 2 mock exams during the day. Because 1 mock exam is only 1.5 hours. It's 90 minutes. But of course, if possible, do it in 1 hour because there's only 65 questions. Make yourself train yourself to answer them quickly, so that you have more time to review the questions, and then if let's say you want to do any changes. All right. So it's 4:51. I will give you your homework. Let me just give you your homework first. This one will be module 1 to 7. Okay. Oh yeah, it should be there. Okay, good. There it is. Okay, so you should see the assignment. It's the same as yesterday. Should be 20 questions long. 20 questions. Yes, correct. 20 questions as well. So this is to brush up on what we have done for today, throughout the day. Not throughout the day, throughout the session already. From yesterday to today, from module 1 to module 7. Okay, and then before we end, any questions regarding today's session?
Hello
The
sir.
aim is yes.
Saya nak tanya, yang dekat CloudTrail tu, bila kita buat enablekan CloudTrail, dia akan buat satu bucket baru kan? So, dia akan buat satu bucket baru ataupun pakai yang existing dia?
It's a new bucket.
Oh, ni bucket. So, lepas tu, saya nak tanya, dia bila dia pakai, so dia akan makan storage space. So, dalam normal cases, dia akan sesuatu company tu dia akan biar saja ataupun bila guna bila perlu?
What do you mean? Guna bila perlu or biarkan saja?
Sebab logging kan, bila makin lama makin banyak logging, so makin banyak storage, makin banyak costing betul. So saya nak tahu bila
Okay.
company
Okay.
dia akan guna bila perlu saja ataupun dia akan macam biarkan saja logging tu.
It depends on the I would say it depends on because normally every company, not just company, every application, the customer itself, they have a certain agreement, okay, on how long to archive a certain record. This is normal cases. I have seen companies that keep records for 10 years. I have seen that. But there are also companies that have seen that they only want to keep the latest 1 year record. There are also. But that one depends on the company. Okay, if let's say they want to, okay, let's take the 10 years example. If, for example, they want to keep up to 10 years of records, you can, instead of going to the bucket, instead of going to the, it's still going to the bucket, But instead of going to the standard S3, go and archive it because you're not going to access it. Correct or not? You're not going to access it. You only access it if there is any incidents. But they only want to keep it as records only. So archive them. And I think I give you the pricing. Archiving for deep archive is so damn bloody cheap. It's not even 1 cent. So you should take, in a sense, if let's say they want to have that regulation, so take it in a sense, do archive it. But for those that you want to access, put it in the standard, S3 standard. Does that answer the question?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? And again, in S3, the capacity is unlimited. I think I told you already, the capacity for S3 is unlimited. The only limit is per file, it is 5 terabytes. Okay. Any other questions? No, if no, let me see whether Arduino is on or not. Admin, are you around? Admin is there.
Yes.
I think we can take the picture first.
Okay, so everyone ready?
Sufi tak on.
Okay.
Sufi dah. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Ni speech. Okay.
Okay, that should be it. We still have 3 more minutes if anyone want to ask any questions. If tak ada, I think we can bersurai awal. Can we? Is it okay, Arvino? Can, Okay. If not, if there is no question, you have your homework already. Make sure you do your homework. It's only 20 questions. If you have any problems, you can put it. You can put in the class comment, and then I'll look into it. If not, we can always discuss the questions tomorrow, early in the morning before we start the class. I will do a recap, and then you can also ask any questions then. Okay. All right. If there's nothing, all right. Assalamualaikum.
Wassalam. Thank you, sir.
Terima kasih, sir.
Salam,